One of the things that I've been asked a lot recently is to talk about what happens when you actually have to put on weight after going through exercise addiction or an eating disorder, whatever it may be. Maybe there was a point in time where you lost a whole bunch of weight for a wedding. Maybe you lost a whole bunch of weight for summer, spring break, some kind of an event. And afterwards, you had to come to the fact that this body that you've created not only has become something that keeps you prisoner inside of it because you're so obsessed with keeping it, but you've also realized it's something you cannot really keep. It's not realistic to keep this amount of leanness. It's not realistic to eat this way all of your life because food is awesome. It's not realistic to have to say no to all these social events because you don't want to miss your fifth meal, or you don't want to be tempted by desserts or alcohol, whatever it may be. So that moment comes, that moment when you're like, okay, it's time that I let go of this body. It's time that I move on and I focus on my relationship, awesome food, my career, my passion, my job, my purpose, whatever it may be. There's something else out there that's bigger that you really want to take part of. And you know that your body, as long as you make your body your number one priority, you can't make that dream happen. You can't see it through. So you say it's time to let go of that. Now, what happens then? Then, instead of saying no to the social event, you go to it. Maybe even then you have a drink, you have a cocktail, you have some wine, or you have a cupcake, or whatever it may be. And then maybe in the morning, your hubby, your boyfriend, your best friend, your sister asks you out to go for brunch. You don't want to say no, you're finally living life. So you go and you have brunch, it's delicious. You have pancakes with syrup and you're eating sugar, and it just feels so good to finally eat normal food and to not be on this restrictive, obsessive diet anymore. And then the same pattern kind of goes on. You know healthy food, you know not so healthy food, but you know that all food is serving a purpose for you now. Just because something's not, quote, healthy doesn't mean that it's not serving a purpose within your body. Maybe it's connecting you to your best friend again. Maybe it's serving as a memory. Maybe you remember that you always used to have spaghetti on Monday nights with your parents, and your parents are gone, so you eat spaghetti on Monday nights because it reminds you of them. So maybe it's not, lean chicken breasts and broccoli, but it's serving a purpose for you in your heart, and it makes you feel really great, and that's really what food's for. So after a while, you continue with this. You start to eat the food again. You start to eat all these different foods that you've been craving and wanting, and sooner than later, you may notice that you're starting to put on a pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, maybe 10 or 15. You're just starting to notice your clothes are getting a little bit tighter. You're starting to feel like you don't have as much pep in your step. Maybe some of these subtle signs are starting to go off and you're getting a little bit panicked. And you're like, oh my gosh, food freedom. Does that mean that I have to put on all this weight? Does food freedom mean that I have to put on 10 pounds or 15 pounds? What happens? What happens when you start to let go and have freedom? This is my question. It's a really long question, but basically, when I get asked this, there's one thing that I first have to tell people. First of all, when you start this food freedom journey and you start to say yes to things when you've been saying no to things for so long, throw out your scale. Throw out that scale. I have not weighed myself in 2 years because I don't want to know. Because if I'm under the weight that I saw last, I'll be happy. And I don't want that. I don't want to be happy. So I protect myself. If I see a weight that's over the weight that I expect because I'm like, I should be at this weight, then I'll be sad and then I'll be mad. And then obsessive triggering thoughts will go off in my head. I need to do this, I need to do that. I need to ask this person how he eats or she eats. I know that's how my brain can work. So I protect myself. I got rid of my scale. When I go to the doctor's office, I actually turn around. Either you can ask them not to weigh you, because I'm pretty sure that's possible. They don't have to weigh you. Or you can turn around, you don't have to face it, and you can tell them in advance, I don't want to look at the number. Don't even care what they think. If they're like, this chick doesn't want to see her number. Oh my gosh. Don't even care. It's your body. You're doing it for your sanity. Don't worry about what other people think. Just don't get on the scale, because if you don't know, you'll never be able to judge yourself for your weight. That's one part of the equation. Another part of the equation is to start introducing yourself to bodies of all different types. So work on protecting yourself by not getting on that scale and not letting that dictate your emotions and your attitude for the day, but also start to look at other body shapes of beautiful women and men doing amazing things in this world that don't have that same body that you see on every single advertisement, in every single movie, on every single concert stage. Go look at other bodies, look at lawyers, and basically living, breathing superheroes doing amazing things in this world, that are starting charities, that are taking care of people, the poor, people that are serving the world with their coaching skills, their singing abilities, their modeling, whatever it may be. Go look at other people that don't have that stereotypical body shape that you see all day long. I'm not saying that that body isn't the best body to look at. I'm saying that there's no such thing as the best body to look at. You can be thin, you can be big, you can be small, you can be tall. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is that you've been programmed to see the same body over and over and over. And you're starting to think that that's the body you should have. You're starting to think that that's the best body. It's not true. It's just the one that the media wants you to believe, so that you work so hard to buy their products, buy their programs to look that way. So first of all, get rid of the scale. Second of all, introduce yourself to other women and men doing amazing things in this world that have different body shapes. Go follow plus size models. Follow plus size yoga instructors or yogis, or plus size pole dancers, or plus size, I don't know, people that are in the media, social media. Follow people that have different size bodies, that have crazy birthmarks and weird, I don't know, freckles everywhere, different spots and moles that people are not afraid of. They're not afraid to show off their body and say, this is me, this is how I am. You know what? I am more than just my body. I have a purpose, I have a passion, and I'm going to see it through. So that's one of the things. Another thing that I want you to remember, this isn't really something you do, but something that you remember during this time. I saw this recently on a Facebook status or meme, but I'm going to try to say it as best as I can. That weight that you put on from eating food freedom, from eating foods with your freedom, I'm doubting that it is a whole bunch of weight that you just randomly put on. But if you have, or if it's not even that much, if it's 5 to 10 pounds or 15 if you had to guess, what I want to say is those 5, 15, 30 pounds for you, that may be Sunday morning pancakes with your boyfriend, or breakfast in bed. That may be going out on a Friday night, going to a concert and having a cocktail. That is that freedom, that beauty. Would you really sacrifice having those beautiful moments with people you love to be 10 pounds less? To be 15 pounds less, 30 pounds less? Would you really sacrifice those amazing, huge things that make up your memory and you could always remember these awesome moments just to have a weight that is 10 pounds less than you are now, and then not do any of those things? So you kind of have to pick one or the other sometimes. Not for everybody and every person, but for me and for a lot of people, it's either not go out, not have fun, be a certain weight, be obsessive, restrictive, and be hard on yourself and never have the self-care that you really want, never have the self-love that you really want for yourself. Or on the other side, you can gain that weight that's necessary for your body in order to have that freedom. Go out, have fun with friends, make new relationships, make friendships, be able to go out on a boat and not worry about your next meal, be able to go hiking and really be in the moment and just eat your protein bar, not have to have your special meal that you always pack with you everywhere, just have whatever's around. Having that food freedom to not have to look at every single label and see what's on it. Think about how much time you're saving. Think about how much time and energy and mental clarity you can start to pinpoint towards the things that matter in this life. How liberating is that? So liberating. So as you're on this journey and as you're starting to put on weight, if that's the case, start to remember that that weight you're doing for yourself, that weight is crucial for you to be able to have freedom in your life, to be able to be free from obsessions and restrictions and self-loathing. That weight could be the key to being liberated and free. It could be the key to finally enjoy those precious moments life is giving to you, saying, take it, take this moment, I want you to have it. For so long you've been saying, no thank you, I gotta take care of this lean body, I've gotta make sure I always keep it, but now is your chance to accept it. Hope you enjoyed this video.